waiting for it to say 99% upload. Hey, nerds! Spirited Nerds, Mariah and Denise here to talk season 2, episode 5, 6?
Six. Only two
6,
left,
jeez.
which is
Oh my
crazy.
gosh. Episode 6, Smallfolk with the hard K. From House of the Dragons. But before we talk any of that, we're going to talk about what we're drinking tonight to help us get through this discussion. Although I don't need a drink for this one. This one was top notch. But what do you have to drink, Mariah?
So probably the first time ever, I'm drinking a beer. A Modelo.
A Modelo.
Yep. It's all we had, so don't tell Eric I'm drinking his beer.
He can't hear you.
Nope. But he's gonna walk out and see me drinking his beer.
What's what marriage is about? It's about give and take. It's about sharing.
Exactly.
There you go.
What are you
I
drinking?
just have some more white wine. I was going to drink a some whiskey, but I have a super early flight out tomorrow to get to San Diego. I need to be up at like 4:30, and I was like, I can't chance it drinking brown liquor before bed. So just keeping it nice and light, a nice Chardonnay again,
Nice.
to keep me company through this, and then while I pack tonight. So there we go. But we're gonna get straight into it because again, I have to get to bed. I've got a flight. I got to get to San Diego. I got to see you,
Woohoo!
and we got to get into our nerdy shenanigans this week. But small folk, capital K. We start out with the Lannisters. Jason Lannister is out in the field telling Lord somebody that they're not going to Harrenhal like the guy thinks. He's like, look, I'm going to go to Harrenhal escorted by Vagar and
Yep.
Aemond because there's a dragon there.
Mm-hmm.
So let me know when he's going to accompany us. Go ahead and send your brother a raven, or send my brother a raven. Tell him to send Aemond with haste over here. Me and my lion and my guys, we're gonna camp out in your
Yeah,
place
with you. With that
until we hear
hospitality.
you. A lion.
I know, that's crazy.
How obnoxious is it that they are literally just riding around with their mascot?
And those things are big.
That thing was huge.
Did we see lions in Game of Thrones? Did they have
Mm,
them? I don't remember.
not that I recall.
Okay.
It did
The
it did
Lannisters
throw
have been
me.
Lannistering from the beginning of time, so they're just
Yeah, it wasn't surprising to see the lion. If anything, I was just like, that is you're obnoxious. Just get
yep,
off my screen.
yep.
Obnoxious. I don't know. So they immediately cut from that to Aemond reading the Raven note and balling it completely up, saying, look, what does this man mean with haste? He doesn't send for me like that. He looks at Tylan and is just, what is wrong with your brother?
Yep.
Alicent tries to
Speaks
get
right
some
over.
words in. Oh my God, completely cuts her off and tells her, hey, you were happier in the kitchen. Wouldn't you be happier in the kitchen?
Oh man, when he called her back, yeah.
That was the most awkward scene. Mother, a
Go do
word. I
some
said, oh
kid
shit.
work.
He called her back like the principal having or a teacher having a word with a student
Right?
after class. That was very uncomfortable. Another uncomfortable part in that scene when he went behind Tyland and was talking to Tyland and was
Mm-hmm.
getting very close to him, like arms around his shoulders,
Oh yeah.
touching his chair and touching him. That was just super uncomfortable. I wouldn't have liked it. Then immediately started circling around everybody while he's talking like he's playing Duck Duck Goose. That game already is high anxiety and I can't take it. To walk around the whole room like that with people, mm-mm. But I don't know. They try to offer Allison up to a wife to the Red Kraken, and she says,
So they're
"Absolutely
like
not."
pirates. That's their thing.
They want to deal with these pirates. Some
Yeah.
for some reason, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. I guess they're the only ones who will stop like Coraline
Challenge Corliss.
but I mean they're right. Like you're gonna invite pirates in just to like what do you think the pirates are gonna do to your small folk?
Exactly. It's like which of the two evils are we going to deal with right now? A blockade, which is I guess is a good. Are we dealing with a blockade that's cutting everything off to where we can't get anything, or pirates?
Yeah.
That's a hard choice. I don't know what I would go with, to be honest.
Well, in that moment and up there, I mean, I know that I don't know if it's at that point that they bring to. Oh, I think it is. Lair thing brings to Eamon's attention in that scene about how the small folk are like struggling. I think
Mm-hmm.
prior to
Mm-hmm.
that, or at least when they're discussing this pirate thing, I mean, it's like the disconnect of like the rich and the poor. Like they don't, they don't know. I mean, what's going on down there? They're starving or they're struggling. To them is like, oh, they can go a day without a meal or
Well,
whatever. So
yeah,
for
the maester actually says it. He was like, the people down there are hungry, and Amos says, "So,
yeah, so
sir,
for
what do you mean,
them,
so?"
they probably want to deal with, I guess, the pirates. They're just thinking, oh, the small town folk will be fine, and the pirates will get them the food that they need and rape
Mm,
the women.
I guess that. Well, he basically, Eamon basically comes up with the plan where Crispin, I'm sending you to Heron Hall to deal with Damon. I'll get there when I get there. Don't worry about when I get there because Damon has a dragon. So he's basically sending Crispin back into battle with the dragon where he just came out of and has scarred
Crispin,
him
yeah, that's a death
permanently.
wish.
Oh
He's
my gosh.
yeah,
Well, he kind of has to go. He got marching orders to go, so he has to go.
yeah.
He doesn't want to.
No, not at all.
Yeah, another dragon battle was going to take him completely out of the game mentally.
Yeah,
So he's like, okay, that's fine. When is Vagar coming so that I'm not facing a dragon
yeah,
alone? And
yeah,
Aemon's like, I'll be there when I get there.
yeah. I'll swoop
And
in.
I'll swoop in. There is a little moment between Alice and Eamon though, where she touches him on the hand and she's like, "Look, are you still mad about all of this from your childhood? Are you still mad?" And she
Yeah,
puts her hand on his face, and he goes to move it, and he moves it a little bit closer, and then immediately just takes it down. It's like
yeah.
he can't allow himself to feel anything,
Hmm.
even though you can tell he really wants to. It's pretty.
Yeah.
It's sad that he can't feel that.
And I think that moment, and then kind of later what we see of Damon, we kind of get to see this connection, of being the second brother, of never being good enough, of never being the one, or so we're starting to get more of like this connection between the two. And I don't know if it'll play out later on, but I don't know if they've really tied that together as much as like that scene really kind of you're like that you can feel the struggle between both of them in this
Yeah.
episode.
Oh. Well, speaking of
Also,
second brother,
before
go ahead.
sorry, before you move on, last week
No.
I think I said I was like, oh, isn't Aemond the older one? And I know Aegon because obviously he's king, but I think it's because he's so big. When she put his hand against his face, he has like a big head.
His head is huge. He's very long.
Yeah,
He's very long. So yeah, her face was like her hand was like little tiny fingers against his face.
fingers on his chin.
So we get Patty back. You were talking about that whole second brother not feeling good enough. Damon walks into, he's locked in a room and he turns around and replaying a scene from season one where after his wife had
I
was
think
it a miscarriage?
Sir
It's
Stefan
over.
is before this.
He's like two seats away.
Mm-mm.
Mariah,
Okay.
you know I do my notes.
Okay. All right. So yeah, Damon once
Oh, okay.
again.
Well, no, I know what you mean. You probably talking about like the council room. Maybe. Oh, yes, you're absolutely right. The council room does come first. Yes, I apologize. I was so excited to talk about that dream. But yes, the council room comes first. It's Corliss's first day on the job.
Yep.
He's ready to go, and
Hmm.
we get audition number one for Who Wants to Ride a Dragon.
Yeah.
Sir Stefan Darkland. He is grandma was a Targaryen princess, five
Yep.
times removed.
Yeah. Yeah. Great. 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 Grandma.
They've done all the research. He's ready to go though, even if it
Yeah,
means
he
his
is.
life is over. Sees it
And
as a
I'll skip
huge
ahead or
honor.
cover to the actual scene, but yeah.
I thought it was funny. Before he agrees to it, he's super confused, and then he's basically like, he kind of feels his need. He doesn't do it on purpose to like point out all her losses. He's like, you don't have any family left.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Like
know.
I like Rhaenyra, not Rhaenyra.
You
What's that
can't
girl's name?
forget
Lena.
Raina.
Raina couldn't get on it. You have
Yeah.
her. What happened to her? Like, why are you coming to me? Like you
Yeah.
must be desperate coming to me. I'm
Yeah.
honored, but for you to come to me, you must really be desperate. Um, but he's ready to give up his life. When he took his oath, that meant an oath. So he's ready to go.
Yep. Yep.
If you were Sir Darkling, would you say yes?
I think because you think it's an honor, right? Like he says, like, oh, the dragons are gods, and you're asking me, like, you've done this research and you found that I was the one who has the blood to ride the dragons. Like, oh God,
So
like,
you would go.
yeah. To think it's like an honor to go. I mean, maybe if that old guy would have spoke up a little more and said something else. I mean, I know he tried to warn her, but he didn't do. I mean, maybe if he like got his opinions out, could have swayed
I
me. But I
mean,
mean, you're being selected to be a
you see what
dragon.
happens. You see what happens when he speaks up. So I mean, I don't know if I'm go anymore. But if I'm Stefan, I'm asking a question or two outside of are you sure? I'm asking, hey, how does this work? Do I just walk up to it?
What if we
Like
assume that happens between
we
him
think that
going
happened off
there? Like,
camera.
yes.
Okay. All right. I'll give you that. Now we're back to Damon, who was locked inside with his brother, reliving an actual situation that happened. Because most of the time with these dreams that we've seen him in,
Uh huh.
there hasn't been an actual reliving of a situation. So
Hmm.
he kind of gets a do-over with this scene. And it's the
Yeah.
scene from season one where his wife was born, or the baby was stillborn, I think. But
No, this is
anyway,
when
but
Viserys is on the crown, or is on the throne.
yes, but it was the air for a day comment.
Oh yeah.
When
Yes.
the baby was born and immediately died.
Mhm.
Yes. So it was the air for the day comment, that whole speech. And Damon's confused. And again, he's just like, Allison, you can't still be mad about this.
Yeah.
What are we doing here? But he kind of just begs to get let out of the room. He
Hmm.
doesn't want to be in there and he's trying to get out. So he wakes up to Simon waking
Hmm.
him up. And then
Again.
poor Simon, he goes at him with the knife and is like, look,
That is the last
forget
time Simon's waking up. David, he is like 0 for 3 on waking him up.
not just that, but there's a literal witch in this castle with you who every time you hear
I
something
know.
screaming, she's looking at you. She's
I
giving you
know.
blood. You've
I
seen her
know.
drink blood.
Making
She's giving
comments.
you some. Why are you going at
He's
poor
in the
Simon?
kitchen. Like,
You know who's enchanting you, and it's not Simon. I don't get it. Well, he's running off, and
yep.
we see Caraxes for the first time because I was getting a little worried about Caraxes. I was like, is he still around? And he is.
Yep.
Um,
He's ready to go
poor,
too.
he
As soon as
was,
he
poor
seen it,
thing.
he was like, "Ah, yeah." Woke up.
David was a dot in the distance, but Caraxes knew it's time to go. We're about of here. Um, the whole conversation between Alice and Damon is basically Alice just telling Damon, "You're not the power player that you think you are. You're
Yeah.
just a piece on the board."
Uh huh.
Um, he still is on this trip of Ray never wanted this whole
Hmm.
crown. She didn't want it, but she kind of has to remind him Viserys doesn't either. And it's not, this thing isn't like a prize to be won. It's a burden. No
Yeah.
one really wants the crown. And
Yeah.
if you really do want the crown, it's probably not for you
Yeah. Or good reason.
for a good reason.
I
Um,
think this is gonna be. I don't know if we're gonna get to it by the end of this. I feel like you'd have to get to it by the end of this season. But like this whole time with Damon there is just like kind of self discovery a little bit. Like he's kind of learning not to be selfish. He's kind of I think he's gonna come back in a really positive way at the very end of the last season for Rhaenyra. Like come like 100% for her or something. Like he's having these like realizations that you can't be who you've been.
oh, absolutely. It was kind of interesting. Somebody kind of brought up the comment of earlier when Alice told her, "You're going to die here." That I don't know what happens. I hope I'm not spoiling anything. I don't know if he dies, when he dies, but
Yeah.
someone kind of mentioned that he's going to become a changed man there. So the
Okay.
old
Yeah.
him will die. So I feel like you kind of see
Okay.
that transition in
Yep.
this episode,
Definitely. Definitely.
especially with the next dream. But
Hmm.
he looks at her and he's like, "Look, I need help." And she's like, "Ooh, Damon needs help." And he's like,
Yep.
"Counsel.
Yeah.
I need counsel. I don't need help." And then
Yeah.
she tells him, "Look, in 3 days, the wind is going to change.
Yep.
Don't do anything. It'll work out."
Yep.
Finally, somebody listens when somebody tells him don't do anything. So he listens to her and he doesn't do anything. He's just chilling. Caraxi sees, fuck, we're here for 3 more goddamn days. He goes and he sits back down.
Or longer.
Caraxes. Um. Well, now we get to the Stefan and Sea Smoke.
Yep. The only thing I have to say about this scene is like you don't have a fire blanket. Like there's no like safety measures in place. Like there's no guarantee that this was going to work.
Do you think? I think it's hilarious that you think against a fucking dragon, a fire blanket.
Well, I know I know that
Even
that
then, I feel like a
but if
fire
there was
blanket
a
would.
fire blanket like ready as soon as he blew to like throw it on top of him, he could have been just fine.
Right. I feel like those blankets are for like small embers that quickly grow. Right. That was full on just like
He could have
there's
had a chance. There's got to be something, a bucket of water. Like there got to be something they had nearby
the
in case
only
this would have
thing.
happened.
The only thing they could have done is what you saw old man that man do, just
Goodness,
knife to the throat. Which again, to me, a knife to the throat, you still have to bleed out.
I
So
know.
I didn't understand what
That's
that
no
was.
better.
I but anyway, so there we come in, and as soon as I see characters I've never seen before, I'm like, okay, this is gonna go wrong. You know, we've got a
Yeah.
whole bunch of the people, the dragon people that tend to the dragons. They call Sea Smoke in. Sea Smoke is just flying around, enjoying his
Yeah.
day. They call him in. He's like, all right, what y'all want? They got him roped up, singing the High Valerian songs to him. And he's like,
Yeah.
this is what y'all called me in here for? This
Seemed promising at first.
did it?
He seemed interested. He got down.
It did. I was like, huh, okay. As soon as his High Valerian wasn't in yellow like everyone else's, I was like, this is number one. This is clue number one that this is not gonna go, this is gonna go left. His Valerian, which like you said, they probably prepped him off screen. They gave him a
Yeah.
quick little Duolingo lesson in High Valerian. So he was
Uh-huh.
saying the words. As soon as he said, sea smoke, I said, that man said it with his whole chest, sea smoke. And then started talking in High Valerian ish
Oh my gosh.
and got close enough. Sea smoke took 2 sniffs. He's like,
Nope.
mm-mm,
Crispy.
don't like it. As soon as that man said, I've done it. Now, here's the thing. There was like an Indiana Jones like little thing on TV. So I in the background, but kind of watched all the Indiana Jones movies. I can't
Uh-huh.
remember which one it is where he was looking for the Holy Grail. And the guy picks up the Holy Grail, he puts the water in, he think he made the right choice, and he drinks it, and he's like, everlasting life. And as soon as he said that,
Yeah.
everything fell to shit. As soon as that man said, I've done it,
Nope.
mm-mm.
Or haven't.
Sea Smoke said, get the fuck out of here. Y'all wasting my time with this.
And then like I just Rhaenyra, I know David, the other episode was like it just is all bad decisions from her and everyone, and everything's bad decisions. But it's like she was so shocked. It's like you just were so optimistic, like you were just so positive that this was gonna work that there was like no doubt. Like she just seems like no, you weren't prepared to cover him with a fire blanket, and then you were like super shocked that he like this didn't work, and it's like you got to have some type of like caution. Like she just does like she's kind of like all in like on her decisions or feelings.
My first inkling as Denise, as Stefan, is you telling me someone of noble blood can ride these dragons.
Yeah,
And then within the same breath, Corvus tells me Rhaena Targaryen can't get on a fucking dragon. She's a
yeah,
Targaryen and
that's
she can't get
true.
on a dragon.
Yeah,
Why? How am I on this dragon?
yeah, that's true.
So I don't know. Even with Corliss
It's just an
saying that, I don't
honor,
want to.
though. It's just like an honor for you to be like a knight or to be just someone in the kingdom for them to come to you. Like they picked you, they found you out of all the people, and so that you could ride the gods. Like you just would have to be like pumped.
Well, he's pumped.
And
He
he's
got
crit.
pumped up full of flames,
Yep.
and that is it, Sir Stefan. We hardly knew ye. We go back to the boats, the ship, the deck, the dock, the dock. That's what
Yeah.
I'm trying to say. Alan and Corliss. Corliss wants Alan to sail with him as his first mate.
Yep.
Alan doesn't want it. He doesn't want
Nope.
anything to do with this man. Doesn't want to go. It's trying to say I don't want it. I mean, basically
Yeah.
does say no.
Yeah. He's like, I guess if you're making me, then I'll be there.
And then finally, as what every child says to their parent, no matter what age, are you asking me? Or are you telling me? If I do, I have a choice in this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then why'd you ask? If I don't have a choice, why'd you ask? Just tell me to do it. So he's got to go sail with him as his first mate.
Yeah. Knowing what we know later, do you think that he knows, like he knows that, like who they are?
Corliss,
Yeah.
he 1,000% knows who they are.
Oh, okay. Well, it was
Mm-hmm.
weird because I didn't get a chance to go back and look, but there was another scene, like episode 2 or 3, where they're having a conversation. They talk about his background, or they talk something about his background. So that's obviously what they were alluding to, that it's his son.
Yes, I haven't gone back, but you know that Corliss knows who they are when Rhaenys came up and talked to him and was touching
Yeah,
his face.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
That's how you knew. And then that's when Rhaenys was like, "I know who he is. I don't know
And then
why are you
saving
acting."
him was like a huge deal. Like going back and being like, him for his own son to save him. And I
Mm-hmm.
guess he doesn't know that he knows, but like everyone obviously knows, but like, you know, it was like a, I guess,
Everybody knows.
so that's what, so, but they don't know that they each know.
No, they don't.
Okay.
Because even when the brothers have the conversation later, they know. Corliss knows those are his sons, and they know he's their son. That's their dad. They
But he
know.
knows that they know that he knows.
Mm-hmm. Everybody knows. It's just nobody's saying anything.
Okay.
It's a weird situation, but they all
Yeah.
know.
Okay.
Listen, family isn't perfect, right? If this show is telling us anything, families are fucked up.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
um, Back in the tavern, Mysteria is starting to lay her seeds. So you've got Sylvie, the
Yep.
madam, speaking up. Sure hope no one hears me say all these things about the king and the parties that they're having in their castle with lots of my ladies who they see,
And
who I've
lamb
been
and
sending
cheese
over.
and breads and fruits and meats.
Honey cake. There's been
Yep.
lots of honey cake.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Did you not? I'm sorry I spoke so loud. Excuse me.
Didn't mean for you to hear all the things that I have been shouting while looking at the back of your head for the last 3 minutes.
Ah,
Man,
yeah.
man, sometimes. So, yeah, they were just trying to get him to just perk up and listen. All he
Yep.
had to say is, that ain't right. And she knew, got him.
Yep.
And then they were just like, oh my God, you're absolutely right. That's not right. Rhaenyra would never do this to us. She wouldn't forget about us. Viserys, and he goes, yeah, you're right.
Chris would
Viserys
never do
loved to
this.
party. Viserys loved to party, but never but he would never do it if we couldn't
Yeah.
eat.
Yep.
Yeah. Not while the small folk are without.
Yep. Yep.
So, yeah, man. Back in Dragonstone, we got your boy following Ray around.
The smack heard around the world or around
She
the castle.
smacked the shit out of
I
him.
love that he like looked her back too, like looked at everyone like, okay, I guess other people saw this too. That's gonna get out.
She, she smacked the shit out of him and then said, it's my fault that I forgot to make you fear me.
It is her fault.
Oh my gosh, it is.
Interesting
And
to see
she
what's
is.
gonna play out for the rest of her council moving forward after that, because of course that's gonna get around.
Yeah, that's what Jace tells us that
She
it is getting
sent the
around,
other
but
guy off to go get Damon, and he didn't want to go, and now she smacked this guy. So
she killed the other guy. So yeah, like she's got a lot. I don't know. It's not a good look for her counsel right now. But before he got his face popped, he did let us know that look, after that last little stunt that you pulled with Sea Smoke wasting his time, he pieced out. So Sea Smoke isn't around
yeah,
anymore. He's back
yeah.
around, flying around.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she goes in and she sees Mysteria, who basically tells Leia that the kindling has been laid.
Yep.
Don't worry about it. It's harder to fight abroad and keep peace at home. So I know you're trying to wage this larger war, but I'm telling you, starting from the bottom, moving our way up is the way to go. They can't fight a war on two fronts. They can't do it.
Yep.
No one can. It's hard.
Mm-hmm.
Ray is trying to look fierce, has a little sword in her hand, and the Massaria says, "It's a good look on you."
Yep. First little bit of a little flirt there.
You had thoughts about the little flirt session a few episodes ago.
I don't think that was it. Like, I think this is it. Like, this is the first of that. I still don't think that other scene, I didn't get that from that. But, like, that first little comment, I think
You think this comment was
this
it?
is the flirt. The other one,
Because
I couldn't feel that
it's
way.
interesting. I've heard I was watching on Twitter and a lot of people are like, "Oh, the kiss was it." I said, Ray
No, it
was
was that
like letting
comment.
it. They were flirting the whole episode.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
definitely.
does start with there. All right. King's Landing, everybody's running around. Food is scarce. They've been waiting in line all day. Scraps, can't even get scraps.
Yep.
Um,
Sheep
sheep
right
for the
past.
dragons.
Yep.
That's not a good look.
I'm surprised. So we said last episode, would you have, the dragon head? If people would have gone after the meat for the dragon head, this is the scene. Like, this is where I would have gone after the cart with the sheep in it.
Everything is fair game at this point. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
probably, and you know me, but I'm probably even looking at a horse twice, two, three times.
Yeah. I'm
They've
surprised.
all
I'm
they
surprised no one in this scene they tried to start like a riot and get those sheep.
plus who is it? They only have one dragon. They only have Vagar, and that was maybe 5 sheep, six
Well, I
sheep.
mean, look at the size of Vagar. That's the one
That's what
mil.
I'm saying. That's not even enough to feed Vagar. So that's weird. So she might be starving too. Who knows? Um, this is when they bring up at the Green Council. There's another Green Council, and it's looking a little thin these days because Aemon has kicked everybody out, sent
Yeah.
people off to war. So his room is a
We
little
got
is a little thin too.
layers and iron rod.
Which I love Iron Rod. That's my dude.
Oh, he was
But
so funny in this.
I don't know if this isn't that scene yet. But um, the Maester is bringing up to them that hey, everybody's hungry, and that's when Aemon is like, why is that my concern? Why are they mad at me? Ray's the one with the blockade. She's the one starving them, not me. I'm not doing it. But Laris brings out a good point. Like they're not going to
Yeah.
look at Ray as the one who's doing it. You're
Yep.
supposed to be coming up with a solution. You've got that crown on your head, that burden on your head now.
Yep. And let me just sneak in here and drop a little hint that I could be the hand.
Not yet. Not yet. That's
No,
not
no, this
coming.
is it. This is it. He eases into saying that he wants to be the hand. He sneaks his way on in.
Look at the
Let me
day.
drop a little knowledge for you, but also you
I
can
don't know
take
if it's
this
the one.
information and make me your hand.
You've
And then
got better
iron
notes than
rod
me
rolls his
today.
eyes.
Yeah. You need a hand. Such and such had Otto, such and such had Crispin. Like, you need me. And then Eamon looks at him and it's just like, are you out of
You
your
toad
fucking
piece of
mind?
shit.
Iron Rod trying not to crack up at the
I
other
know.
end of the table.
I wonder, they do like. I wonder if that was like a first take, because I feel like that's like for him to laugh or smile. Like if I was in like an actor in that room and then I was watching that scene, I would have just probably broke a little bit. I feel like him smiling and smirking and turning was like a first take like smirk.
Because I feel like even if it wasn't a first take, even if that was like 5 or 6 takes, they're not gonna do it the same way every time. They're
Yeah.
gonna like do it different ways. So yeah, the way he probably leaned in and said it to him or something, Iron Raw was at the other end of that table like, I can't. This is too good. Um, but yeah, he was like, you're absolutely right. I need a hand. Go get my grandpa back. Go get him back. Go fetch him for me, you toad.
Okay, but before that, he was like, "Oh wow, I never thought I would be considered for something like this." No.
Laris, he doesn't like you.
Oh
But
my
I think he knows that, and I think he's trying to figure out. I need a place in this court and
I know
quick.
he is. And after that
He's look,
comment, it's getting
he's looking a
thin.
little too desperate. But yeah, he's like, I need a place in this court and quick, or else I am disposable. I can't
And
go
that's
home.
and then that's when the maester comes in. It was like, oh, he's doing
Hmm.
well. And Laris leans forward, like, oh, he's doing
But
well.
also like, shut up. Don't tell him that he's doing well. But yeah, great news. Aegon is he's awake and he's getting better and better. And when you know, the next scene is in Aegon's room and Aemon walks in. I'm psychopath. I can't say
Oh
it
yeah.
enough. He is a psycho.
What did you see? Like,
That man said nothing. I can't. I don't know. That was a hard scene to watch actually. Pushing the
it'll.
ball into his chest and everything.
I
That was
know.
hard.
I don't. I don't know if Amond is going to really, really try to kill him off, or if he will just let things play out and do what
Also,
he can while he can.
if I'm Alicent and I know what Aegon tried to do,
Yeah.
and I know that he really wants that throne, and
Hmm.
I know how he is, I'm sitting at my son's bedside. I'm not leaving. And if I'm leaving, someone else is sitting there with him, and he is not to be alone. I don't care who says it. You're not
Oh
leaving him
yeah.
in here alone.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, that was hard. But Aegon just basically is like nothing. I saw nothing. I saw nothing.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and the Grand Maester comes in and basically sees that Aemond is not being so nice to him.
Uh huh.
Yeah, they need to not leave him alone ever again. Uh,
Nope.
then we're back at the Vale. Rhaena is out on
Yeah.
a walk with Joffrey, and wouldn't you fucking know, there's a dragon up here.
Yep. And that's gonna be the one that she mounts.
You think
That's
so?
my thought. I think so. She wants to be on a dragon. She really does. I think this might be the one.
Well, I think that she feels tricked too, because she's like, her whole purpose of coming there was to bring dragons so that this lady could feel protected and have a dragon. But, ma'am, you already have one. Why am I here?
Yeah, that too. Well, she's like, oh, it's wild. Yeah, we don't know anything about it.
Yeah, you tricked me. There's already a dragon here. And then, yeah, it's, oh, yeah, you're right.
It's not green though. It's there, but I mean, it's wild. Like, there's no taming that thing. They don't know
No.
how to
So
get
I think
young.
that's why she wanted the dragon. So that way she could kind of have protection against this wild dragon. But
Oh yeah.
we'll see. To your point, we'll see if Rhaena is the one that ends up riding her. Although they're about to send Rhaena off. So she's not even going to be there much longer. She'll be in Pinto soon.
Well, I wonder if she's gonna stay now because it sounded like she wrote the letters to get out of there. But now with this dragon around, I think she might try to stick around.
That'd be interesting to stay around for a dragon that may or may not want you.
I should at least try.
And then you could just ride to Pintos with the dragon. I wouldn't stay for that.
Yeah, I guess she could do that.
Hmm, we'll see. I don't know. A lot of what ifs. There's a lot of story left. Who knows? Uh, in the book, though, I do know she doesn't end up riding that dragon. This dragon, someone else does, but we haven't
Oh,
seen that character yet. So maybe it does turn out to be her.
okay.
I'm not sure. Um, Alan is shaving off that blonde hair. He does not want any sort of blonde silver hair.
Did you? Okay, I know we already mentioned this, but like I'm shocked. Me and Eric, I did not know at that scene with his white hair. We were both like, "Oh my god, it's his son!" Like we did not make the connection until that scene. We were so shocked. I even in my notes I have in capital letters the scene. Like it was this big moment, but it sounds like everyone knew but us. I was like, "Oh
Right. That's funny. Uh, nope. So now the brothers are just like, why don't you just take in everything that comes with being his son? At least you, because he doesn't give a shit about me. He would give it all to you. And his brother is like, look, no, he'd rather have the high tide claimed by the sea than call us his sons. He
god!"
doesn't
Yeah.
want to call us his children. We're bastards.
Mm-hmm.
So stop wasting your life waiting for something that will never come. And we're going to come back to those words later. Um, Ray and Jace. Jace basically finally breaks down with his mom up outside. He's like, look, we need Damon, which Jace has been saying the exact opposite this entire season.
Yeah.
Um, Mysteria interrupts, saying that the gifts have been sent, and Jace kind of
Hmm.
walks off frustrated. And this is flirt scene number two. Ray extends that arm out and leaves it there.
Yeah.
Like, that was an invitation. And Mysteria did not miss that moment, walked right on up, stood right in front of her arm, and they were very close.
Yep.
It's getting a little steamy over it, and Dragonstone. Um, King's Landing on the shore, the gifts have arrived while they're out getting their fish because that's all they've been eating these days is fish. So they're out fishing, and then the boats come up.
Yep.
The clouds are low just like they wanted, so lots of ships come up. The people get them off. Now we're finally at Alicent with Aegon, and she actually has a blanket with her at this time. So she's been there for a while at his side.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. She's looking for her dad. Macer hasn't. He's been sending letters, but nobody's been answering. He
Which is
hasn't been answering them.
interesting. I wonder if it's he's not answering because he doesn't want to, or is Otto really like gone somewhere like he, where he
Probably
said he
both.
wasn't going. I feel like
If
he's
I,
done. Like I don't know. I don't know. Like he doesn't want to. I mean, what more does he like have?
because if you think about it, Alice's letters are probably something like, "Hey, everything's going to shit here. I
Yeah.
need you." We
Yeah.
already know he doesn't really give a shit about her like that.
Yeah.
And why would he want to come back into a castle like that?
Yeah. I wonder with Eamon calling him if he will come back. Do you think?
I feel like that might be different. Because it's
Yeah.
like, hey, we not just hey, come back, I need you, hey, come back, we need you.
Yeah.
And you can have your title back, you can have your position back. We need you. So I think that might be more of a enticing than Daddy, I need you
Yeah.
from
That's true.
Alicent. Yeah. Um, yeah, because that's a shit show. Who wants to come back to that? Would you want to come back to that?
Nope. Not at
I don't
all.
even know if I'd come back to the hand, to be honest, but I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, here's the thing: we talk about the small folk. So he's going back out into the world with the small folk. So
Mm-hmm.
you know, if he does choose to come back, he'll definitely come back with some like valuable information because he's now
Yeah,
seeing stuff happening on the ground floor,
that's true.
hearing things as well that he normally wouldn't have heard.
He would help to balance out Aemond, but again, time
Yeah.
will tell if he actually does come back into this castle or not. If he just lets them like lay in their own grave that they all dug for themselves, we'll see. Um, Allison goes out running out looking for Crispin, who's about to go off to war, but she finds Gwaine instead. And she's been going through it with her sons, so she looks at Gwaine and she's just like, "Look, how is Darren?"
She is just reaching for someone to be on her side, like some friend. Her brother don't.
She
Blaine is over her.
she's having a rough time. There
She's
was
having
a
a very rough
scene
time.
when she walked out of Aegon's room and she was kind of in the hallway and they did a slow zoom on her, like she was standing in front of like the little courtyard. I thought she was about to jump because in the book,
Yeah,
Helena goes crazy and she jumps. I thought they were going to switch it up, and Allison was about to jump. I said, "Oh, she's losing it." Um, but she looks at Gwen and she's just like, you were 8 without a mom, and look at you, like you're great. I know it must have been hard, but you're great. Like, how's Darren? And he's like,
yeah,
oh, he's stalwart, he's clever, he's kind, he's good with a
yeah,
sword, he's a lute playing playboy, like he's great.
yeah,
To which is bittersweet for Allison because she's like, that's great that he's doing great, but he must be doing great because he wasn't here with me.
yeah. Exactly.
To which Gwen lies and says, I'm sure you did the best you could.
I'm sure you did.
No, she didn't. She didn't do the best. Listen, we're at probably my favorite scene of other than Sir what's his face getting lit up. Allison and Helena.
Yep.
Allison walks into Helena's room. My girl just wants to sit and listen to her cricket sing all day long. One cricket isn't singing. One cricket's not singing. She finds that weird. I don't know why you find that weird, Helena. It's probably dead or it's just tired.
Yep.
But she talks in prophet, so
I
there's one
know.
cricket not singing.
Uh-huh.
Let's go light a candle. Allison says. Helena doesn't want to go, but whatever. She'll entertain her mother. Um, we're back out in the street, and you can see the blacksmith is petting the dog.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you again, I got a little worried for that puppy. The way he was grabbing him behind the ears, I thought he was feeling
Oh,
for
that's
meat.
meat.
I said that dog. I said it's a wrap for him.
Oh
Poor
yeah.
little thing. But the dog was saved by the commotion in the streets because now everybody's running through the streets with not just the food but raised banners. They're
Yep.
taking her banners
Yep.
back
Mm-hmm.
and they're yelling out, "She thinks of us even now." They're just thank God for Queen Rhaenyra. Long live Queen Rhaenyra. He smacks the shit out of somebody for the food. He steals their food.
Yep. Cabbage.
Among
Already
other things.
good.
So then they go running in the castle where Allison and Helena are, the room where they are, and they're like, look, we gotta go now. We gotta go. Which is awkward because there is a shit ton of people outside that are going
I feel like
crazy.
it would have been better just staying in. Like, are there no other
Hide.
like tunnels through to get back or
There
something? Like,
had to have been.
just took her right out into the middle of everyone. She had her little Cersei moment.
Your only option could not have been we gotta go outside and face this angry mob. That couldn't have been the only option. But for some reason it was. Because if not, we didn't get this next scene, which Mariah, when I tell you I watched this scene maybe 8, 9 times, it it's not even that it delighted me, just the gall on this man. She walks outside and this man yells at her, the queen of fishes, because they're tired of eating
Yep.
fish. So they yell, the queen of fish. He is as close to me to her as I am to my laptop right now, just super close. Takes a fish, cocks it all the way back.
Smacks
It
her
wasn't like
right.
a little toss. That
No.
man he turned in baseball, right? You turn, you aim your body where you're going to throw it, right? He turns, he aims, and he lets it, I mean, just full rotation straight
Yeah.
to her face.
Blood, fish guts.
I paused it. She had from her ear to her mouth
Yeah.
blood
Yep.
from that fish. And then the scales and the slime were dripping off of her face. He did that in broad daylight in front of her, like right there to
I
the
think that
queen.
prior to that, someone threw a couple things too. That was just like the big one. And then after that, it was all hell broke loose.
I am shutting shit down. There is absolutely no way that is getting around the kingdom. There is no way that people will know that I took a fish to my face
Yep.
like that. You're not going back and bragging about that. I'm getting Vagar. We telling everything. So, but her and Helena are trying to get away. The knights are trying to protect them. They've got their swords out. A man comes to grab her, and they cut his arm off. His arm is still holding on to her after they cut it off. This was the most chaotic
Yeah,
scene.
it was. It was.
And then she yells, "Sheathe your swords."
I
Basically, just nerfs them. They can't do anything. They're like, sheathe our sword. What the fuck do we do now? So they got townspeople, small folk jumping on them, kicking them, beating them. And then they try to take their sword out, and the guy's like, no, 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 you heard her. Sheathe your sword. I at least thought when she was getting in the carriage and she turned around and saw them getting like
yeah.
attacked,
She say
that
something.
she would say
Nope.
something like unsheathe your sword, something like that.
Yeah.
She's got in her carriage. So it's kind of like she just said, like when you were playing freeze tag when you were a kid and you had people coming around and someone would freeze you and you would
Hmm.
wait to be unfrozen, but you were just sitting there like, unfreeze me. That's kind of like how I felt like she did to them. She froze them and she did
Yep.
not unfreeze them. She just left them out there, man,
To die.
to die, to freeze. It was fucked up. And then in the carriage, she notices she's been cut, and it's a callback to season 1 where she cut Ray. She cut Ray and the same arm that she got cut. So she's sitting in a carriage with her daughter, who is now even more traumatized. And that's, I feel like that's a callback to 2 episodes ago where Helena was like, I forgive you. So I'm thinking this has to be the scene where she forgives her for, is what my
Yeah.
thought is.
Yeah. That
So
would
you
make
got
sense.
your daughter who you've traumatized in here. Your arm is sliced open. Everyone around you is singing or is screaming, "All hail Queen Rhaenyra."
Yep.
She ain't looking
Shouldn't
good for
look
her.
good. Nope, it does not.
Mm-hmm. Another touching scene. We got Laris and Aegon. He just wants his milk with a poppy. He just wants to just numb the pain, numb everything. And Laris basically says, "Nope, you're not drinking this.
Yep.
You're never going to be your whole self again. Matter of fact, all you have right now is your mind. So we need to keep that clear." And he does that thing where he's talking to somebody, but he's actually talking about himself. And
Yeah.
that tear, that single tear drops from his face. I don't
I
know.
mean, Aegon is Laris's only hope, only connection, only thing keeping him around at this point. So he's got to make sure he survives, stays strong.
Gotta be. It's just the two of them. Oof. That's sad. And then the last words that you hear Aegon say to him is "Help me." As Laris reminds him, as long as your brother's on that throne, your life is in danger.
Yep.
And we've all seen what Laris can do to brothers that he feels are a threat. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Interesting. Yeah.
mm.
I just like you said this is supposed to be 4 seasons.
That's what they said.
Yeah, I guess I can see it. So there is just so I just feel like there's just a lot. There's a lot left, and it's not gonna. These two, I just these two last episodes. I feel like we could get a lot more, but we're not. We're gonna be stuck on this huge cliffhanger into the next. I
I
mean, we get.
don't think if we get 4 episodes with the same characters, I'd be shocked. I don't know, maybe
You
because
think
it
we're
does
gonna
talk
have like
about the
a
war, I guess.
significant amount of deaths in the next 2 episodes?
Maybe not in the next 2 episodes. I feel like in the next between now and the next season, we have to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because basically, we're talking about the house that fell. This entire house fell.
Yeah.
So everybody's got to go, start going at some point,
Because really, we've
right?
only seen one.
Yeah,
So yeah, we'll
it's
probably
about
get.
to get real.
Yeah.
I mean, on both sides, not just the
Oh
Targaryen
yeah.
side, in both
Yeah.
houses. Like, so, oof.
Well, then I guess
Like I
two.
said,
We got the baby and Rhaenys.
yep.
So
And Reese, the actor who played Otto, basically already told us, look, just enjoy how everybody, just enjoy watching everybody die. Everybody's horrible. Just enjoy watching them all die. So, pretty much what we're about to do. Um, Speaking of death, kind of, we've got Damon in another Viserys dream. His wife is dead. His wife has just passed, and we're at the funeral. And Viserys is like, she's gone. And then Damon finally gets it and holds his brother. I'm sorry, you needed me. I'm here now, and just
yeah.
lets Viserys just weep in his arms.
Yep.
And when he wakes up, we find out, and this is so funny to me because I'm actually picturing the actual characters. We find out from Sarah Simon that Lord Grover is dead.
Mm-hmm.
And that Oscar is now the Lord Paramount. So Damon just weeps. He's just at that table, just crying his eyes out. So that's what I mean. Like I feel like the old Damon died,
Oh
and
yeah.
we've got
Yeah.
this new Damon
Definitely.
now.
100%. Yeah.
Okay. So now we're outside back again. We're in Spiceland. Sea Smoke is just flying around. You know, he's flying off all that pent up energy, that anger that he had from the other day because people trying to waste his time. And he sees Adam,
Uh-huh.
flies around. He plays with them. You can tell he's just playing with them because he flew close enough to just knock him over. If Sea
Yeah.
Smoke wanted to kill him, he would have killed him.
Oh yeah.
Chasing him around into the woods. It gets quiet, and you already know. Okay, a jump scare is coming. Although Bela and Moon Dancer had us fooled. I didn't think the dragons went into the woods, but apparently they can.
Oh yeah, he was right there.
So I don't know what happened with Bela and Moon Dancer and why we
I
couldn't
think
kill
because they said
Crispin.
not to like interact. They told her not to like, get too close.
I know what they said, but we could have done it. We were right there. But
Right.
nevertheless, Sea Smoke finds Adam, gets all up on him, super, super close, sniffs him, and then just stops.
Mm-hmm.
He likes him. That
Yep.
dragon said, "Look, if you ain't black, you ain't on my back. Let's go." And Adam is in. Adam is in.
Rode off into the
Also read
sunset.
that, huh?
So they rode off into the sunset.
They did. Which also says that I read online that dragons are super close. They have a bond with their human, and the
Uh
only
huh.
time that that bond breaks is when their human dies. So the
Mm-hmm.
thought is that off scene, what was that boy's name? Lanor? That off scene, Lanor is dead now.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. And that's why he's been so restless trying to, in that he
Yeah.
just wanted a bond.
Yep. Yep.
So he's bonding with Adam. So we get back to Mysteria and Ray. Ray
Yep.
says that Damon is what she wanted to be. He's a carefree man. She had what he wanted, the crown and her father's love. Um, I don't know. She just has doubts. But Mysteria is basically just telling what she wants to hear. You have me, and you have my
Yeah.
thanks.
Yeah.
Also, I haven't called her Voodoo Queen in a while. I don't mind her accent anymore. I don't know what it is. I don't know if she hasn't been laying it on that thick. Her accent hasn't bothered me this much in the last few episodes.
Yeah. I don't know either. And it was funny. So we watched Civil War like last night, and she's in
Mm-hmm.
that. And I was like Googled her, and she's like British, but she's Japanese. So I don't know if like that's why, but she sounded like normal. Like I feel like if she would sound like how she just probably normally talks, I would be fine. Which is maybe that's where she's getting to. But like the early scenes, it was like really bad. Like the
What was
actress
she
was,
in Civil War?
she was a reporter. Oh, I'm just yes, yeah, it was Civil War. She was a press. She was part of the press. She comes in towards the end of the movie. The new one that
Oh,
just came out. She's a small
the new
role.
one that came out.
Yeah, about the press.
So not Avenger, not Captain America Civil
No,
War.
no, 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 no. This is just
Oh,
called Civil War. Came out this year. Um,
I was like, I don't remember the press in Civil War. What are you talking about? You mean like an actual Civil War movie?
yes, but it's like modern day. Like it takes place in like now, like 2024 or something, and it's against like to, Texas and California break apart, become the Western Front, and they basically take on the rest of the country. And they have to go to Washington D.C. and I don't know. You can watch it, but anyway, she's in it. She was press towards the
I'm,
end.
I'm, I'm good on that. I'll take your
But
word for it.
for the accent part, like how she sounded there, I feel like she's still laying on thick in this character, but I do agree that it's like less maybe. Maybe so she got the hint. Maybe someone said something, but it's not as annoying as it was early on.
She definitely has softened it up. And I was like, is she softening it up for Ray? Like, cause it is soft. It's not as she's
Yeah.
not as harsh with that accent anymore. But anyway, she says, "You have me. You have my thanks. I will serve you. You are meant to be a queen." Oh, Ray comes from across that room, swoops in, gives a hug, and then the big scene,
Yep.
which wasn't scripted. That was totally ad libbed by Emma Darcy.
Nice. Of
Yeah,
course they would. Get a little.
yeah. That was not scripted.
So I wonder what was
That
supposed
was
to
them.
happen. Like, was there supposed to be
I
any flirty, like more flirty, or was it just supposed to stop at
it
like
was.
the
I
long hug?
think it was more floating. I think Emma said that it was supposed to have been like a long breath or something that was like shared between the two of them, but it wasn't a kiss. They felt the kiss would have been more of what would have happened in that scene.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they get broken up to find out that hey, Sea Smoke is riding around in the Spice World,
Yep.
Spiceland. Yeah, we know that.
Yeah, he does that.
Spiceland, is that where Crispin wanted to go with the oranges and the cinnamon?
I don't know.
I feel like that's where he wanted to go with cinnamon and oranges. Anyway, Sea Smoke is flying around. She's like, yeah, old news. What the fuck? Why you broke up this makeout session for that? And then they were like, yeah, but he's got a writer. And Ray says, that's it. I can't do this. I'm not sitting back anymore. Immediately goes and gets
Yep.
Cyrax, and the two of them are off.
Yep.
So Ray is about to find out that she has been trying her hardest to go through history books, find lineage of noble blood that can get on this dragon, and then she's about to find that some random, and I say this in a politically correct term, black bastard has mounted onto Sea Smoke and has
Yep.
claimed him.
Yep. Corali's got some explaining to do.
Got some. What do you call him? Coralize?
Corali's.
You know, you said it earlier, and I heard it, but I was just like, what is she talking about? That man's name was Corliss.
Corali's, Damon, Crispin, Gawain. I don't know. You know what I meant.
Corliss has some explaining to do. Although, I don't think yeah, actually, maybe this is how they find out. But he's not a Targaryen. He's a Valerian. Which I don't know. Maybe. Oh yeah, I think their houses
Yeah.
did mix. So yeah, he actually might be Targaryen blood. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, I wonder who
Anyway,
the mother is.
yeah, that's right. We don't know who the mother is.
So,
I don't know if we'll find out who the mother is. The mother also has to be black too, because they are both
mhm,
black, black.
who knows? Minor details,
I
I
don't,
guess.
minor details. What did you think about the episode overall?
Probably one of the best, the best one we've seen so far. It's the best one we've seen so far.
And again, not a lot of action, so we don't need a lot of action-packed
Yeah.
war scenes to
Yeah.
happen for it to feel like this was TV, man.
Yeah. Yep.
I go into these episodes with high anxiety because I'm just like, who's gonna die today? I came out of this one, I immediately watched it again, and I feel like I've seen it 3 times already, actually. It is really, and you pick something up each time
Oh
that you
yeah.
watch it in this
Definitely.
one.
Hmm.
I really like it. Favorite scene?
Favorite scene.
I feel
I
like you know mine. I've already said mine, but
last week you mentioned like the Green Councils, and really the Green Councils really are like these really great scenes. Oh, definitely over Rainier, like the Black Council, like this, like these are getting really juicy. And now with Aemon and stuff, so I would probably say that like that whole first scene of with them and him like going around the table and talking to Allison and like yeah, they're
their
entertaining.
council rooms are entertaining. And yeah, outside looking in, if I was actually seated at that table, I would not be entertained. But me, man, I love that council room so much better than than Ray's council rooms.
Oh
So
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
but
mine
yeah,
hands down is that fish flying at her face.
the
I
showcase.
cannot believe that happened. That man, damn. That was insane. And then also just again the sheer audacity to waste Sea Smoke's time
I
bringing
know.
out that white meat, that can of tuna, because he was in armor and everything. He said, "I don't eat tuna. I this is a slap in my face." So
Yep.
wasting his time like that. I cannot believe that man said, "I did it." As soon as he said that, I said, "Oh, those are famous last words." And that was all she
Gotta
wrote.
wait till you're on the dragon to say you did it.
Yeah, I don't know why he stopped. I would have kept going because it's just like, look, there's no stopping. I'm
Yeah.
I'm going to walk. I'm going to get on your back, and then that's it. Like if I've committed to it, yeah, he shouldn't have stopped. But again, if he didn't, we wouldn't have that scene that we had. So,
Charred, crispy.
ugh, oh well. Well, I also really, really, really enjoyed this one. So now we just need to see next week, is Otto coming back?
Yeah.
how much progression we get with Aegon's healing.
Mm-hmm.
Does Crispin meet at Harrenhal and Damon? Are they finally meeting at
I think
Harrenhal like when that
Karen
battle
Hall
happens?
is going to be like the final scene of the end of this of episode 8. Like the last like 20 minutes, 10 minutes is going to be like this big old out battle, and then we're going to be left at a cliffhanger for a year. And
Okay.
it's going to be a lot
The
of people in here.
start.
We got Lannisters coming, we got Crispin going, whoever Damien's called and got on his side. I think this is going to be like the Battle of Harrenhal is going to be like the last episode.
Okay. All right. We've got Allison to see how she just handles everything because I think the last time we saw her was when she was cut up and
Yeah.
smelling like fish. So we need to
Yeah.
see how she is next week. We left off in a few different places with a few different people. So,
Yeah.
but more
Okay.
importantly, the Adam and Ray showdown to see how that
Oh,
goes when she finds out that he's on the back of Sea Smoke.
yep.
We got some interesting things to pick up with next week. Um, so that's it. I mean, tomorrow. I mean, this time tomorrow, I will be on the West Coast. I'm
San
excited.
Diego Comic Con.
I know. We'll see. And I haven't seen any House of the Dragon panels, so I don't think.
There's nothing. No
Yeah,
wraps, no offsite, no exclusives, like nothing House of the Dragon. There was like one
no.
little thing I saw, but I don't remember what it was, but it wasn't like I don't know, it wasn't like about that maybe it was about the books, but it wasn't anything like big. Maybe an actor, but it's like there's been nothing, no signings of the cast, no nothing. I'm shocked.
Mm,
That
yeah,
little stupid pre-screen, I guess that's it. Get to
that's
watch the
it. And that's
episode
so
2 days
late.
early. Yeah, at 10:30. Like, couldn't have been earlier in the day.
I
Anyways,
don't know. Oh well. But we hopefully we get some. I know we'll have fun. I'm not even gonna like. I think that is a given. But hopefully we. I know, and also we'll see each other. I'm gonna say hopefully we see each other. No, we're definitely gonna see each other. So I don't know. I'll see you soon.
see ya Wednesday.
Yeah.
And to everyone
Well,
else, oh, go ahead.
no, I was
Oh,
gonna say you want to sign us off. So it
yep.
sounds like you were doing that. So I
See you
interrupted you. I
Wednesday,
apologize.
and everyone else, we'll see you next week. So when you're listening to this, if you haven't already followed us on like YouTube and Twitch and Facebook and TikTok and Instagram and Twitter and all the other social do it because then you can listen to us record. It's I can't say what day we're gonna do it, but you just subscribe, and then when we go live, you'll
You'll
get the
get notifications,
notification, and then you can join us. But
and
typically
you'll see.
5:30 Pacific time, Mondays, Tuesdays. I think Tuesdays have been our days so far right now. So
So far with House the
comment,
Dragon, yes.
listen, comment, interact
Yeah,
along.
and you see the live tweets on Twitter and everything.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. Until next time.
Well, again, until next time. Bye.
Bye.